Guys, welcome to my second video that's been well delayed because I've been very busy on this channel, but it basically is going to be my 8-month review on Dubai. And it's going to be a bit different to all these other videos that you might see online because I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I'm not going to talk too long about something because I hate watching videos like that myself. I'm just going to give straight information, straight from myself and how I feel about this place. Obviously, so much positives, so much things that I'm not used to that maybe I preferred in the West or was more comfortable. When I say West, I mean London. I'm only talking about London because that's where I'm from. So let me not reference West. I'm going to say London. Talk about how some things maybe I prefer it in London. Yeah, I'm not going to just say all the good things about Dubai, even though it is very good. Overall, look, I'll give you the summary at the beginning. Overall, it's better than London, 100%. Yeah, but I'm gonna break down some things that I wasn't used to, something that shocked me, some things that I was like, whoa, London is different. I might actually kind of prefer it how it is in London, but is what it is. If you see me looking down, I've got my phone. I wrote the notes, so I didn't memorize it. I'm not there yet, so I'm just gonna read straight, literally from. I broke it all into sections. So actually, let me just tell you the sections so you're clear. So I'm gonna talk about rent, yeah, the prices and stuff, bills and all of that stuff. How Dubai maybe is not actually that expensive as people say it is. Yeah, how driving is different from London to here, big difference. We'll get into that. The events and stuff that Dubai does, they do a lot like expos and stuff like that, how they run and how it's very different. The Islamic side, I'm Muslim, so I'm definitely going to touch on the Islamic side and how that is. The quality of life that will affect everyone, and I'll leave the last one to the last. You just see. You just have to wait. You know them guys there. They're putting their thing. Oh, wait until the last one. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. This is what it is. You have to wait, or you can just forward to the end. That's what I do. You know when people say I got the best till last. What? I'm not watching the whole thing. You made me forward now. It's your fault. So if you would do it to me, I don't really care because it's what it is. Anyway, let's go straight into it. Yeah. So rent. Let's talk about rent in Dubai. Yeah. And when I'm doing all of these figures and stuff like that, I'm specifically talking about Dubai. Yeah, so obviously UAE is made up of 7 Emirates: Sharjah, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Quwain, and Ajman, a couple others. But I'm specifically talking about Dubai. Okay, so anyway, so where I live is 30 minutes away. Yeah, and the rent here, yeah, for a one bed, it changes all the time, but roughly for a one bed is around, let's just say, 1,100 a month. Yeah, 1,100 a month, excluding bills. No, I think it's 1,000, 1,000, 1,100, excluding bills. Yeah. However, in London, you're probably getting around about 1,000, 1,200. I think at a minimum, I think last time I checked was like 1,200 or 1,300. But this is the difference. In London, you're paying like 1,300 for a one bed, yeah. But that one bed is like, I can't remember what it's called, but let's say you're doing them a 60, you have 60A, 60B. So it's one house and one person lives upstairs, one person lives at the bottom. Here, for that 1,100, minimum, most places are coming like this: swimming pool, barbecue area, dryers that everyone can use, like a big, massive laundry room. Free, all of this is free. Security, 24/7. People cleaning your hallways and stuff like that. Lifts, obviously, I don't know why I added that, but lifts. Clean place, flowers all planted outside your apartment, everything like that, yeah, like crazy amenities, and that's across the board wherever you're going, yeah. So that's the difference. I'm not gonna go too much in each thing. Maybe if there's one specific thing that everyone likes, I'll do another video just on that because I want to touch on a lot of things. But yeah, in terms of rent, it's about 1,100 for a one bed in a decent area. This area that I'm living in is very nice. It has everything. It has all the shops. Every shop you can think of, like I'll tell you, in walking distance, Nando's, Five Guys, what else is there? Like Italian restaurants, Krispy Kremes, KFC, Hardee's. These are like fast food shops. Loads of coffee shops, independent coffee shops. In terms of supermarket, they've got one called Spin. These are all like 2-minute walking distance, yeah, in each direction. Stuff like Spinneys, which is equivalent to Waitrose, Carrefour, which is equivalent to Tesco's, a Giant, which is equivalent to Viva. No, Giant and Viva, which is equivalent to Lidl and Aldi. It's so easy to dry cleaners, pharmacy, doctors, schools. Like all in walking distance in this one little community I live in. And that's the thing here in Dubai, it's like communities, yeah, loads of different communities. When you see this downtown stuff, that's tourists, that's where tourists go. People do really live there, but it's like expensive, so I don't know the price on that. I'm not even going to touch that. So yeah, in terms of rent and amenities, that's the pricing. Yeah, now in terms of bills, okay, in bills, there's two main bills here in Dubai. One is called Diwa and one is called Ista or Chilla. Diwa is Dubai Water, no, Dubai Electricity and Water, DEWA, no, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, something like that. But basically, your electricity and water bills in one, and so your electricity, your water, and your equivalent of council tax all in one bill. Yeah, so that's Diwa, and then Ista is literally just your AC. Yeah, Ista is your AC, and in houses or villas is different, but in apartments it's called Ista, which is AC. Yeah. In terms of how much that costs, it depends how much you obviously use, yeah. But for example, for a one bed a month, you're probably looking at like all bills included, maybe just over 100. It's not that bad at all, yeah. And it depends how much AC you use. But in terms of Diwa, I think I am paying around £80 for Diwa, yeah, which is very good. And what's nice is you get a text, your bill comes, you log in with one button, you pay by Apple Pay, that's it. There's no direct debits here, there's none of that set up. So you could just pay by Apple Pay, whatever card you want to use, yeah, pay by Apple Pay, it's done. So it's very different here in terms of direct debits and standing orders and all of that stuff. Even with rent as well. So with rent, it's a lot of people is you pay for the year or you pay quarterly. There's no every month it comes out your bank account. I think that's going to change 2026, which is this year. But as of what I know is you pay by checks. So for example, quick summary on rent. I was meant to fly through each of these ones, but quick summary on rent. You find a place that you like on the equivalent of Rightmove or Zoopla. It's called Beirut. Yeah, Beirut or Property Finder, one of them. You find the equivalent property that you want. You text the landlord. No, you text the agent. So all of these are agent numbers, yeah? You text the agent, I like this property, can I do a viewing? What is so good about here, they work 7 days a week, anytime, like literally anytime. They work on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, everything. So you go for a viewing. Let's just say you like the property, is very straightforward. If you like the property, everything's good, you go on a viewing, it's all nice. You what's it called, you express that to the agent will get the landlord ready, that you meet with the landlord. This is how I done it. I don't know everyone else, but this is how I done it. One of my friends done it. You meet with the landlord, you like the property, you discuss the deal. So for example, let's just say it's 60,000 dirhams for the year. I'm gonna just do it all in what's it called, British pounds. I think it's just easier. Yeah, let's just say it's 12 grand for the year, yeah, which is £1 a month, yeah, not including bills. He might say, if you give me all of the money up front, I will do it for 54,000 dirhams, which works out to be about, I think, just shy of 11,000, so 10,900 or something like that, yeah? They will do stuff like that. So you save £1,000 by just paying it all up front if you can. If you can't, I think the standard default is 4 checks, which is quarterly. So how it would work, let's just say 60,000, you would write 15,000 on one check, 15,000 number, 50,000 number, and another. So you've got 4 checks, you give it to him, but you write the dates quarterly. So 1st of Jan, 1st of March, 1st of September, 1st of December, yeah? I don't know if those are the right dates. And then you give it to him. So he can only check it in on those dates. The bank won't take it earlier than those dates that you've written, so the money can't come out of your account. And then that's how it works. Simple. Give you the keys, give you the cards to tap into the blocks, and that's it. And most landlords here, how do I explain it? Like you as a renter have a lot of rights. For example here, if things go wrong and it's less than a certain amount, you have to fix it, but that amount's nothing. That amount's like £100. So if anything big goes wrong, they fix it. It's all on the landlord. Yeah, they fix it. If you want to come out your contract, I think you got to give 2 months advance notice. Like it works very much for the person that's renting, which is you guys. So it works in your favor. All right, so that's rent. What else did I want to talk about? Rent. Oh, Wi-Fi and SIM. Okay, this is a big one. Okay, this is where I'm used to it more in London, how it works in London, where there's so many providers. Here, I think there's only 3 providers for your SIM card. Yeah. That is one called DU, Etisalat, which is the main one, and Du's a big one, and Virgin Media. Those are the only three, if I'm not mistaken, SIMs you can get here that's registered to your name, and you need one registered to your name to do anything, to get Emirates ID, which you're going to need, to get contracts, you need it all under a phone number, a UAE phone number. You can only get that from one of those three providers, which means, yes, it is more expensive than London. SIM cards are more expensive here. For example, I think at minimum, you're probably paying around £40 at minimum a month for 20 gig. I think it's like 20 gig unlimited minutes and text and whatever. You're paying around that way. Whereas in the UK, you could get a SIM card from the shop, corner shop, top it up. You could work like that or get like a cheap £10 a month SIM. Here, no, you can't, because it's only free. They control the market basically, and those are the prices. Also with Wi-Fi, again, I think those three are the only ones that offer it as well. So there's Virgin, which is the cheapest. Obviously, again, if you pay up front for the whole year, which I done, they half the price. So I think I paid 400 dirhams. No, I can't remember. I think I paid around £400, but it's for the whole year. Unlimited Wi-Fi, fast from Virgin, like adequate for what I do. I'm an editor, so it's fine. It all works. It's brilliant. No buffering on YouTube, so it's all good. But that's the difference between here and London. You got way more control on what you want to do. Your network provider, your phone provider. Here, no, you got these three options. Pick one. Yeah, that's it. But that being said, network is completely fine. There's no dead networks in the UK. Yeah, you could pay £7 a month. It's a dead network. You're gonna go places you can't call and stuff like that. Anyway, that's enough for rent. If I missed anything, put it in the comments and I'll do it, because I want to be that person that just says everything quickly. Yeah, I don't want to make people watch for no reason. Okay, in terms of, is things expensive here, I broke down how rent is not expensive, like literally the same prices in London if you're coming out here to live. Yeah, now let's talk about going out. Okay, and I mean going out in a not that type of way. I'm Muslim. Yeah, going out in terms of going out to eat and stuff like that. Yes, if you want to go to restaurants in downtown, it's going to come with a price, but not a price that you can't afford. Yeah, a price that is the exact same if you're going to go Oxford Street or Edgware Road or Mayfair and these places to eat. It's the same. Every country you go to the downtown where the main restaurants are, of course, it's going to come with a price tag, but most people are going there on holiday and stuff like that. However, what you can get here is cheap places to eat that you can never get in London. I'll give you an example. There's loads of quote unquote cafeterias. However, these cafeterias are not what you think like how they are in London. Yeah, that just sounds, cafeteria just sounds like something in the school. It's not that. It's places like shops, for example, where you could go in or you could pull up outside the shop, you could beep, someone will come out with a nice menu, and these foods cooked proper food. It's not food that's going to get you ill. Come out with a menu and you could pick, for example, a chicken paratha, which is a chicken wrap roll. Very nice. It's £1. You could get something, what they're famous for is their karak tea. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know a shop called Chaiwala. This is not knocking Chaiwala because it's good and it serves its purpose in London. Yeah, and it was the first out there and it's very nice. Yeah, when I was in London and you was getting these karak teas and these Pakistani Kashmiri teas and whatnot, they're about minimum £3.50, £4, whatever. That was the price in London. You're used to paying it as nice tea. Here, I'm telling you, you're getting the exact quality, if not better, for not £1, which works out to be like 50p. I've had ones that are 40p. Same tea, beautiful, yeah, if not better, yeah, for that price. And when I come, I was like, what? You're paying that much in London and here's that price? Is literally like, you'd think, what's going on? But no, that's the price. And that's the price in a lot of places. That's cafeterias all over Dubai. Yeah, that is that price. And like I said, you can get chicken wraps and Nutella wraps. These are just ones that I like, yeah, £1. Even like food shops, for example, like there's little cafes and little places like that where you're getting food, chicken burger and chips for maybe like £3, £3.50, and it's good quality, not like they're using the worst quality you're getting. And I don't know how some of them make profit, yeah, but you get it. You can go to places that are very, very affordable. If you want to live that life, you can live it. Another thing they do here is in supermarkets, they do something called delis, yeah. So, for example, like I said, Spinneys is equivalent to Waitrose. It's the best supermarket, is expensive, is on the same level as Waitrose, yeah? It's expensive. However, they have a place in there called a deli, where they've got fresh food made every single day. For example, like turkey BLT sandwich, yeah? Or you can get fresh like rotisserie chicken with rice. Like it's made fresh, like on the, you know, the silver hot pans, yeah? Bro, you're paying for a rotisserie chicken, half a chicken and some rice in decent, yeah, in a container that you could just pay for as hot, take out and eat on the go, or take it for lunch at work. You're paying no more than £3. Very nice food as well. And that food reflects the shop you're in. Obviously, there's other delis at Carrefour. They got a deli, and that's equivalent to Tesco, so a bit less. All this stuff like Giant, they got a deli which is equivalent to Lidl. Obviously, the quality drops as you're going there, but Spinneys, which the quality is amazing. The food is amazing. The prices are amazing. So it's not just like these small little cafeterias, like shops do have affordable food. In terms of groceries, the easiest way to put it is some stuff is more expensive in London and some stuff is more expensive here. For example, fruit, for example, blueberries. I know this is a random one, are way more expensive here than in London. Blueberries, you get like £1 here, you're paying like £2, £3, something like that. In terms of cereal, for example, cereal is cheap in London. These are just stuff that I've noticed being here. Some stuff is more expensive, some stuff is less. For example, less. What get less here? Water bottles, cheap as chips here. Yeah. A bottle like this is like less than 50p, less than 30p. I think it's like £1 if you go London. So yeah, that's what's cheaper. Another interesting fact is iPhones are so much cheaper. Like I just ordered an iPhone, and it's an iPhone 17, £675. iPhone 17, and I was checking, and that's an Apple store here. And Apple store in London, it was £800 minimum. So it's like, that's a random fact, but just because I went through it right now. So some stuff is actually, sorry, I got a text. Some stuff is actually cheaper here. So it balances it out. So with grocery, it just balances it out. It's fine. There's just nothing you could do. So anyway, moving on to the next one. Restaurants. Sorry, also restaurants on that point. You can go to family-friendly restaurants. So if you want to go with the missus and kids and you want to be in a restaurant and you want to be like away from everyone, there's loads of restaurants here that have booths. So you go into the restaurant, you sit down on like seating floor, floor seating, or even you can sit on the table, but it's a booth. And then once you're sitting with your family, you could just cover it so no one can see you. So from Islamic aspect, or from if you want privacy aspect, you go to those places and guess what? Very good price. So there's Yemeni restaurants, a big platter of rice and meat and everything like that, big bread and stuff. I went with a friend and paid £25, like feeding 2 people. You have big food, you're full up, and that's drinks and dessert with it as well. So yeah, just on the restaurant. So it's not what everyone thinks you're here, you're spending £100 minimum when you go out. That's holiday, that's not when you live here. I'm talking about how I've lived here for 6 months. These are my experiences. Okay, next, driving. One thing that I much prefer in London, and I'm used to it now, so now it's not a big deal. But when I first came here, the driving is different and you need to get used to it. For example, in London, we use flashes, we double flash to say thank you to someone or to be like, yeah, you can go. If you're trying to give someone way, double flash them, they'll go. If you cut in for someone and you need to cut into the lane, what do? Put your hazards on. The guy behind knows you're sorry, it's cool, you carry on. There's some level of respect in London that everyone goes by these codes and these flashes and indicators and stuff like, and beeps. When you beep at someone, it's like, yo, bro, go, like, I'm letting you go. Or you beep at someone, they cut into you, beep, like, yo, don't cut into my lane, I'm going fast. Yeah, maybe it's indicating he's trying to go in, you beep, he doesn't go in no more. There's some level of code that everyone understands. However, here it doesn't work like that. So there's no indicator to say thank you. There's no flashes to say you like to give someone away. There's actually flashes to say get out of my way. So if someone's in the fast lane here, they've got 7-lane motorway. Someone's in the fast lane, you're going slow, he's gonna flash you. It means get out his way. Yeah, simple. That's what it means here. That's the code here. Don't drive in the fast lane if you're not gonna drive fast, or don't drive fast lane at all, because people got big cars here. They're trying to get to places. Don't get in their way, basically, is long. They're just going to keep flashing you. It's going to annoy you. However, am I used to it? Yes, I'm used to it. Did it get some time to take used to? That makes no sense. Did it take some time for me to get used to it? Yes, it did. Yeah, it annoyed me a little bit at first because I'm used to London driving, small roads. There's a code, everybody knows it. It's nice and stuff like that. Whereas here, it's just like people are trying to get to where they're trying to get to, and if you're trying to go slow, you get out that lane. Yeah, let them get there. Now I'm used to it and it's fine. Yeah. But that's all I'm going to say is it takes some time getting used to. Do you need a car here? Absolutely, yes. Why? Because there's no TfL here. Yeah, they've got the metro that runs down like the downtown and the main stuff in Dubai. But if you're like someone like me or someone like you, if you're coming here, you're probably going to live 20, 30 minutes away. There's no transport. Yes, I live in a community where I could walk everywhere, to the local pharmacy, to the shops, to the restaurants, to everything I could walk. Is nice, it's local, and it's a nice walk. However, you're gonna want to go out of this place, and you're gonna have to go work if you're not working from home, and you're gonna have to drive there or catch cab, and you're not gonna want to catch cab everywhere you go because it's a big bill. And what's the point of doing that? Because the cabs are the same price in London, same type of price. So one thing that is very good in London, which I not miss, but it's like take it for granted, is the TFL. It might not be nice if people say it's packed and stuff, but bro, you can get from North London to South London easily by transport. You can live your whole life in London just using TFL. Yeah, people take that for granted because when you come here, you better know how to drive. Me, I love cars and know how to drive from a young age, so it wasn't a problem for me. But if you're coming out here and you don't know how to drive, it's going to be a problem for you. And if you're not a confident driver, it's also going to be a problem for you. You can build up that confidence while you're here, but it's better to have it before you come. That's all I'm saying. But another thing that's nice here, driving the big lanes, it's like the American system, massive 7-lane motorways and stuff like that. So it's very nice to drive. You have a lot of room and stuff. You can take your time. If you're in the right lane, it's just nice. Yeah, it's nice to not be so congested. London's very tight roads. Like if two people are coming like this and there's no way you got to back up into a public space, there you got to go, then you go. Not like that here. You don't really have roads like that at all where you're going to have to hide where you're gonna have to give someone weight. It doesn't work like that. So it's very nice driving in that aspect. You got loads of room. It's very comfortable. Okay, one thing I do want to talk on though is fines. Fines in Dubai are expensive. Yeah, so it's not a bad thing. Just don't get a fine. But you can get a fine for example, speeding. You get a fine. Flash is expensive, 100, 200 pounds, something like that. It's not like UK where 70 pounds is expensive, and you get something called black points, whereas in the UK it's just points. You put points in your license. Here you could get 24. I think in the UK you could get 12. You're disqualified, but it's more easy to get them. So if you get caught speeding, you can get more points. When in the UK you get maybe like max 3. Anyway, fines are expensive. Going through red lights, I heard, is very expensive. So just don't drive stupid in. Like in every country, don't drive stupid. What was I gonna say about fines are expensive? I think that's all. If I remember, I'll say it. But I think there was a point on that. Yeah, just don't get fines. Okay, next thing I want to talk about. I hope I'm going through this very quickly because I just want it to be an information-packed video. Next thing I'm going to talk about is in Dubai, they do it properly. Yeah, and what do I mean by that? Anything they do here, like expos, events, anything they host here, they do it properly. I came back from an event today. You see that? It's called the 1 billion followers. That's my name, production manager. Anyway, I don't know why I done that. I went to an event today. It's my first ever event. Yeah, it was a summit, the 1 billion followers summit. The way they ran this was exceptional. The streets were clean. There was so many staff to help you. Big, big stages here, another stage here, workshop room there. Everything was coordinated, easy to go print your ticket. There's so many people, but you don't feel like you're congested. You don't feel like, you have to wait in queues. There's no queues, there's nothing like that. If they're going to do something, they do it properly. Now, my friend went to a perfume expo. It's just done so properly. They put money and resources into you guys having the best time. So, as I say, everything's just very well managed here. Any event, anything you go to, is just done properly. You're not like, I know in London, any event that's coming with fights and this and that, police. There's no police to manage it because the people manage it properly. Yeah, right? So that's one thing you look forward to. If you're into events and stuff like that, this have to go for work. But it was just managed so properly and so nice. And it's just really, you can appreciate something like that because in London, we all know what happens in London in events. Okay, next one. Let me talk about the Islamic side. Dubai, I'm Muslim, so obviously, of course, I'm going to touch on that. The Islamic side, but stay. If you're not Muslim, the next point's for you, so stay. The Islamic side, there is mosque everywhere. You cannot miss Salah in the masjid here. If you're driving, yeah, what's beautiful is they pray the prayers. They have an app the same time in every single masjid. Whereas London is not like that. So they pray the prayers at the same time every single masjid. The adhan goes off at the same time everywhere. Obviously, the adhan goes at the same time everywhere. I mean, the iqamah is the same time everywhere. And then if you want to pray your salah in a masjid, it's easy to find something because the adhan will go off, apart from Maghrib, the adhan will go off 20 minutes later, the salah is. Maghrib, the adhan goes off 5 minutes after salah is. So you have 20 minutes to find the masjid, which is It's not hard. You're going to find it in 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Wherever you're driving, you will see a masjid. Whether it's a big masjid or small masjid on the side, masjid. They're very beautiful masjid, very clean. Every masjid, always when you go to a masjid, they have another building right next to it, wudu, toilets, sink, taps to freshen yourself up. Very nice. They're so easy. On that, it's nice. You hear the adhan out loud in all the mosques. There's not one mosque going to go past and you're not going to hear the adhan. So even if you're walking, you're not in a car, you're going to hear the adhan. So obviously that's a massive plus. It's a man booster here, and it's easy to get your salahs in the masjid, more barakah for you for the day. So yeah, that side I really, that's my main positive here. If I could sum up like one of the main positives for me, it's that the masjids everywhere, you hear the adhan out loud, is beautiful. As a Muslim, it's beautiful. Now, if you're not a Muslim, you didn't move to Dubai for that benefit, whereas a lot of Muslims do, is you moved here for probably the quality of life. The quality of life here is insane, and it's at no extra cost. You're not paying for that. That is how the government of Dubai have it for its peoples and the people that come to live here. It has you having the best possible quality of life. What do I mean by that? Things are extremely safe here. You're not going to run into no trouble. You're no trouble with no one, no fights, no one swearing at you, no one. If anything, everyone goes out here, go out their way to make your life better here in terms of shops, in terms of staffs, customer service. It's all good here. You're not going to run into none of that stuff. In London, it's unsafe. Let's be real. It's not safe in London. Here it's very safe. So your quality of life is nice. So you get to focus more time on stuff that you actually want to do, because a lot of the other stuff is taken care of. So if that makes sense, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, if you come here, it's easier to excel in life. Yes. Anyway, on that, I want to talk about convenience. Convenience here is nothing like I've seen it before. It's so good that I don't want to participate in it, because it makes me feel like too much things are getting done for me. It makes you feel richer than you are. What do I mean by that? Convenience. Okay, I'll give you a few pointers on convenience, or a few things that I've done that was like, whoa. You can order iPhone to your yard in 15 minutes. iPhone to your house in 15 minutes. You go onto an app. Yeah, it's called Noon. It's like the equivalent of, you don't even have the equivalent. It's the equivalent of Amazon. Everything you have on Amazon is on there, but also a section called Noon 15, which means it will come to your house in 15 minutes, and it does come to your house in 15 minutes. You go onto the app. Like, pretend it's my app. You go onto your app. Boom. On your phone. You click what you want. iPhone. To your house. If you have something called Noon One, it's like £6 a month membership. Free delivery. iPhone to your house, boom, 15 minutes, doorbell, your iPhone's there. Same thing for chargers, socks. You're in an emergency, your socks got wet, you're out, you need socks. You noon it to the closest restaurant that you're at, or wherever you're at, and Domino's, just order it to that Domino's, it will come, you just take it, your socks are wet, you change it. Water, Cocoa Pop, cereal, milk, groceries, chargers, I think I've said that. Anything you could possibly think of, in reason, PS5, it will come to your house in 15 minutes, yeah? So the convenience there is crazy. You're cooking and you forgot one ingredient. You don't need to get changed and go get it. 12 minutes, and 15 minutes is the longest it will take. Sometimes it comes in like 7 minutes. Butter, boom, it will come. So it's crazy. And the minimum spend to get free delivery, if you've got no one, is £5. Well, you're going to spend that £5 anyway. So yeah, Noon One, that convenience is crazy. Another one, the laundry. Watch how cheap. You know how we're talking about prices and stuff? Look how cheap this is. I want my Kandora. Yeah, it's like the Emirati national wear. You know, the men, they wear their white piece of cloth. It's called Kandora. We call it thobe. I'm sure you've seen it. To get that fully cleaned, dry cleaned, and delivered back to your house in 2 days, how much do you think that cost? £2.20. £2.20 for one. They're coming to your house to deliver it. So it's crazy. And to drop it off, I think there's a drop-off service, but I know extra cost, but it's just under my apartment, so for me it's fine. But yeah, that's crazy. It makes you lazy. Yeah, it legit makes you lazy. But the other way, how I look at it, it gives you could buy time. So for someone to do all of that stuff and for your groceries to come, instead of you going out, instead of you wasting 10-15 minutes here and there, all these 10-15 minutes add up. It gives you an extra 2 hours to do what you need to do. You know, you could carry on cooking, or instead of you going to do the laundry yourself and go and put it in the dryer, and it gives you the extra 30 minutes to work. And sometimes you need that here because you're trying to excel in life. Okay, and the last, but certainly not least, this is just the main things that have happened in 6 months that I can remember is that when you're in the UK, especially, and you see Dubai on your screen and on your phone and stuff like that, it looks amazing. It is amazing. But that's downtown. Yeah, it's amazing everywhere. I say all these tall buildings and light shows and stuff like that. That's all downtown. That's where most of the tourists go. You're not really going to live there unless you're on very big money. So my point on that is Dubai is under a lot of construction. A lot of ways where you go, you're seeing cranes here, cranes there, cranes there, building, 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 building. Is that a good thing? Absolutely, yes. How old is Dubai? 50 years in terms of how it is now. 50 years ago, it wasn't like this, nowhere near. Well, London's been about for years, hundreds of years. 50 years, yeah, I think they said, along those lines. So it's a new country. So definitely you're still semi in the early stages. So how downtown looks, that's how it's going to look everywhere, because they're building everywhere you can possibly look. There's a crane. You look outside my apartment and stuff like that. It's my complex. It was very built. It was very nice. Like I said, I had all those amenities. But if you drive 5-10 minutes, it's a bit of desert sand and they're building, 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 building. So is it good to invest actually right now and get an apartment now if you have the money to buy? Yes, because the apartment's going to shoot up. Everything's shooting up. Yeah, I'm not here to sell you in a house, but everything's going to shoot up in price because there's a demand for it and they're building anyway. However, that's one thing you do miss about London is the greenery. The greenery is not here yet. Like I said, there's a lot of desert everywhere. If you're not in downtown, if you're outside, wherever you live. Yeah, my friend lives in villas and stuff that's 20 minutes out. He's still got sand all around him. Outside his complex. So he's not necessarily seeing the sand. He's not in the middle of a desert, but there is desert surrounding area. However, they're all building there. So bear that in mind. Definitely come here, and I'll say this is a must. Check out where you're going to live. Check out the distances between their work, the traffic. Sometimes the traffic's it's same as UK, like you got rush hours, but if you're going to a whole nother emirate, horrendous. Traffic sometimes can be crazy. So definitely come out here, check all of that stuff, check where you're going to live, check the amenities, which is great anyway, but check your specific complex of where you're going to live, where it has to offer and stuff like that. However, that being said, Dubai does have a vision, and Dubai's visions are very amazing, and they go forward and they actually carry and they do what they say, other than lots of other countries. They are pushing for a more greener Dubai. I think in 2026 it's the year of the family. They're building a lot of greenery, a lot of parks and stuff like that. So that being said, I just did contradict myself. It's getting to a place where it's going to be a lot greener, but that's what I do miss in the UK. Loads of big fields when you go out into the country and stuff like that. Lots of that beautiful stuff. Here they are going to build that. They are making all of that stuff. But right now it is a lot of cranes, a lot of constructions. However, that being said, I don't hear it at night. It's not right next to me. It's not probably going to be next to you. You're not going to pick an area like that. And they move rapid. They'll put up a whole apartment building in like a year and a half. So they move absolutely rapid. Anyway, that was the last point. That's to stay until that. That was the last point. So anyway, I hope I didn't take too much of your time. And that was just me wanting to explain my journey here in the last 8 months. Obviously I'm still basically new here, so as I find out more, I'll let you guys know. Like I said, it's my second video, so I hope I said it structurally, hope I don't know if that's a word, hope I didn't ramble too much. I want to make a point on this channel. If I'm talking about anything, I just want to get to the point. I don't want to keep having you guys weigh in and loads of information. No, loads of blah 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 and a little bit of information. I don't want to do that. I want to do minimal blah blah blah, maximum information. So yeah, hopefully that helped you guys. Hope you found out something. If you want to know specific figures, I should have had them on. Just put it in the comments and I'll reply to it with specific figures. Other than that, hope you guys have a good day, and I am off to bed because it's super late here, and I've got this 1 billion followers summit tomorrow as well. It's a 3-day event. So I'm off to bed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next video. Peace.